we're here chatting with the guys about Dungeons and Dragons and what's coming up next. I guess we're focused, a lot on the board game offerings from Wizards of the Coast. Do you mind just highlighting some of the newest ones? I know, like Lords of Waterdeep and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we did just release Lords of Waterdeep. We're very excited about it. It's our first Euro-style game offering. Literally, when you play Lords of Waterdeep, you are a Lord of Waterdeep, and you use agents, place them on the board in order to collect adventurers and resources into your tavern that you need to complete quests. When you complete those quests, you get victory points and other rewards, and the person with most victory points at the end of the game wins. There's an intrigue deck built into the game, so there's certainly a lot of messing with your opponents and so forth going on, plus other opportunities to collect resources. And the board game kind of evolves as the game goes on. So it's very exciting for us to put this together. So far, it seems to have been received very well.
Great. And so the new Dungeons & Dragons campaign for this year is, I'm sorry, I forgot, Rise of the Underdark.
Yes.
I know that when I believe the previous year was Neverwinter, is that correct? Yep. There was a D&D board game released, The Legend of Drizzt, which seemed to kind of follow that theme. Sure. Will there be a board game that follows this year's theme released as well?
In fact, we are releasing a new style of board game for Wizards of the Coast. It is called Dungeon Command. Dungeon Command is a hybrid skirmish board game where each player can purchase a faction pack. And each faction pack contains 12 miniatures that are plastic and pre-painted, and a set of tiles not dissimilar from what we had in Castle Ravenloft and Legend of Drizzt, that you place down and they fit together like puzzle pieces, but you can use those to construct the game board as you're getting ready to play. And the first two faction packs that we're releasing, one of which figures very prominently into our theme, and that's the Sting of Lolth faction pack. Sting of Lolth faction pack features Drow, the Arachnomancer, Drow Assassin, Drow Priestesses, Driders, and so forth. In addition, we're also releasing the Heart of Cormyr faction pack, which features wizards, warriors, dwarves, elves, heroes. There's even a dragon in that particular faction pack, and players can use those to pit the warbands against each other in a head-to-head play-style game.
Great. Will the previous miniatures from the previous Dungeons & Dragons board games be compatible with this set?
At the moment, this game is very much a unique experience, and as we see how our players begin to interact with the game, we'll make decisions about how relevant or not those other miniatures will be in the future.
Great. So at Board Game Geek, we do have a pretty strong role-playing community as well. Do you mind just telling us a little bit about Rise of the Underdark and kind of what will be going on with that throughout the year?
Absolutely. So in Rise of the Underdark, we are going to be supporting an entire suite of products that feature Drow and the Underdark in our Dungeons & Dragons Encounters program through the retail space. The first season of that is Web of the Spider Queen, where we're going to be releasing the book, the Dungeon Survivor's Handbook, and it'll have everything that players will want and need in order to attempt to be successful in their combat against the Drow. As we move into this, further into the seasons for the year, we're going to release Menzo Branson, City of Intrigue, a very unique setting, and it's going to provide dungeon masters and players tools to play Dungeons & Dragons in a whole new way. They're going to get that opportunity to perhaps play in what we would like to refer to as kind of like our backstabbing Drow game, where perhaps not all of the players are working very well together with each other, even though they may be trying to achieve a common goal.
Very cool. That sounds really interesting, actually. I'm sorry. There are like a myriad of digital tools available for Dungeons & Dragons. Nothing official. Well, not nothing official, but a lot that aren't official. And I know that Baldur's Gate has been announced to be released for iPad in the near future. I don't know how closely associated that is with Dungeons & Dragons at this point. I know it was based on Forgotten Realms, which was based on Dungeons & Dragons. I guess my question is, are there any plans for digital tools or digital ways to play Dungeons & Dragons in the future?
Well, certainly we're always looking at ways to expand into the digital space. Most currently, however, with the rise of the Underdark, our good friends over at Turbine have been developing a new patch for Dungeons & Dragons Online that actually features the Drow and will allow players to pit themselves against the Drow inside their game as well and into the MMO. And as we all know, no MMO is good without a really strong boss monster, so players will be able to, at some point, fight Lolth at the end of that storyline. It'll be very exciting for them.
Very cool. That's very interesting. Great. I think it sounds really interesting. It sounds like it's going to be a great year with a lot of good products.